Keely,
Okay.
would you?
Do I need an announcement?
Was Jill coming up?
Yes, and I think she was gonna grab the total, but.
I think she can go ahead and start on it. Okay.
Oh, here, we go. I'm sorry. And Jim, do you have one?
That's just it?
Yeah. And Dan, I'll put you. Anybody else? Okay. So I have it all organized, but Jim had called a few months ago and was approached by another agency and said, hey, you know what, we really probably need to look at other carriers. It's been a few years, and so we went ahead and went through that exercise. We worked with Joe and obviously Dan with the information to do across, information that we have to really do an extensive look at all the carriers that would be able to service the county. There's some carriers, obviously, that are out there that just simply do not have a network at all in your area, or don't have a plan that would be fit. What we had looked at was the best network fit would have been Principal and United Healthcare, and Principal Financial just plain did not come in anywhere close to. They're actually more expensive than where you originally came in at. And so the best alternative that we found was United Healthcare, and I'll kind of talk through all these things. It's not our recommendation at this time though to make a carrier change, and the reason being simply there's probably too many holes in the network that's out there. We can talk through it, see what the board thinks, but based on the employees, just your history, and what would be really accepted by the folks that this would affect, it really probably makes sense to look at some plans with with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So stay with the same carrier, but maybe look at some different options, and so we'll walk through those today. I do want to just simply walk through first the packet and with the green heading is your renewal. And I just like to walk through, okay, what did the year end up like first? We'll also look at some of your claims history, go back over some of the information provided by Deanna Walmark, and Deanna's obviously here to answer some of those questions. And then I want to walk into what's an alternative option for us, and does that make sense? Is there enough savings? And then Joe's grabbing the numbers as far as how much do we have in our pool right now, and can we offset some of those costs? So outside of that, is there anything else that you guys want to touch on? Just make sure we don't miss anything.
No.
Okay. So if you go again to the green packet one and go all the way to page 6. The plan that you have right now, and I'll walk through it quickly, but option number 1 is really the plan that the majority of your folks are on, so it's on a little bit of time just kind of going back over the way the plan works. The county purchases a $2,000 deductible plan through Blue Cross Blue Shield, and not to exceed really $4,000 for a family deductible. And I'm making reference to this because it'll make sense going forward. So a single deductible is $2,000, a family deductible is capped at $4,000. The plan to the employee, we fund it back to a $500 deductible. The employee pays 10% co-insurance on plan number 1, and then not to exceed $1,000 out-of-pocket maximum for a single, and again, $2,000 for a family. We are doing some reimbursements on this plan right now. The office visit copay that the employees pay, they go into the office, pay $20. We're sending them a check automatically for $5, so it's reimbursed back to $15. The prescription drug plan, it's set up where it's $8.35.50, but we reimburse it back to $8 for a generic, or again, whichever is less, retail cost are $8. $25 for the middle tier, and then $40. So we're sending employees a check back for $10 for each of their prescriptions. X-ray and lab services, there's a co-payment. Again, we're reimbursing back $5 for each of those. The emergency room services, it encompasses everything that happens in the emergency room. Right now they pay $150, and we reimburse them $50 every time they go to the emergency room. So folks are used to some reimbursements on these plans. Any questions about really plan number one? I know this is nothing new, so I want to kind of fly through this. Out-of-network benefits, Walmart really does cover all the providers around here. If you do go out of network, there's obviously a little bit more in the co-insurance and out-of-pocket maximum. If you turn to page 10, if there's no questions on how the plan set up. Page 10, it just shows what did we budget last year versus this year, or I'm sorry, what did we budget versus what are the actual claims, again, projected through June of '09. The projected expenses were $60,768. Based on the claims that we've seen when we ran our reports and then annualizing that out, you're on schedule to spend $63,000. Now, we do know that there's a few big claims that may not hit, so you may actually come in a little bit lower than this, but if your claims are the same as what they've been and we annualize it out, you're really looking to be about $3,000 over on plan number one. And that's simply over what was budgeted. Any questions on that? In years past, we simply have not gone over budget. It's consistently been under budget. So this is really the first time, and thankfully it's not by much. It's a small amount. We look at really the claims, the number of claims for the past several years. You've been consistently at 25, 27 for the last couple of years. Bigger jump this year as far as the number of claims, and we can also look at, there are some large claims, so we also know that the dollar amount of some of those claims that have come through have been significant. But we do count all claims, including, office visits, things that maybe come through and they're paid at 100% by Blue Cross. We still count that in your claim count. So, for example, if somebody has met their out-of-pocket maximum and the county has exceeded or met the total amount that you'd be liable for one person, we're still going to count those claims as they come in. And so your average number of claims per employee or per person this year was 32 versus in the last couple of years it's only been 25, 27. Any questions about that? And actually the number of people enrolled in the plan has gone down, and that was from the addition of some of the other plans and some movement, I think, in the last couple of years from your families going to the higher deductible. Joe's going to get the final numbers on this, but what we looked at as far as the total plan savings, we look at, okay, what was the difference between the fully insured and the safety fund plan, and it's a little bit different than what you probably have saved in your account. What we look at, how much would it have cost to be fully insured versus through the safety fund each year?
Which she means fully insured being the no self-fund, the direct fee.
Right.
You would have paid the premium
Yeah.
only without the
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, and we've had those numbers every single year, so we were able to do just a direct comparison. This year, again, a little bit over on the safety fund. It would have cost a little bit less to be fully insured on this particular plan. Going forward, again, we made some adjustments in predictions. It looks like it's going to be less expensive, even staying with the same exact plan through Blue Cross. So a total cumulative savings of $45,000 for this particular plan. And as we turn to page 13, really this just breaks out, okay, how much would it cost, or what should we budget for single-family rates if we kept the plan exactly the same? And you can see the increase from Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's your medical premium. So last year, for example, it was $251.60 was a single premium from Blue Cross. Going forward, the increase is $291.44 is the single medical premium for the $2,000 deductible plan we purchased from Blue Cross.